Okay, we're going to begin lesson 2 for Lead4Change, and at the conclusion of this lesson, you'll be able to explore the importance of building trust among team members in order to achieve success as a team. Discover how your talents and abilities and the talents and abilities of your team members can help make big things happen. Conduct research about the issues through a variety of media sources in order to better understand the issue, who was involved in the issue, and how groups are working to address the issue. Explore informational texts in order to extend your understanding about the selected issues, and collaborate with team members to seek and build know-how about the issues. So go ahead and click the link. And we're going to start by watching this first video.
Let me tell you something. If you try to do something by yourself, it can get pretty lonely. But if you really want to get something big done, you need to take people with you by getting them involved. You know, I always say, no involvement, there's no commitment. You don't really get people pumped up to go make things happen. But the biggest thing is that it's pretty lonely when you try to do things by yourself. So your job as a leader and your job as a team member is to unleash the power of the team and unleash the power of people. That's where the real joy in leadership comes. You know, I call it the concept of 1 + 1 = 3. You know, one of my great experiences in my career was when I became president of KFC. We really needed to develop some great new products. Well, we created a chef's kitchen where we brought our very best franchisees in together, and they loved food, and we would eat food from like 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the morning and then go home and take a nap. I'm telling you, we ate so much food, it was unbelievable. But we also created products and improved our food by working together. 1 + 1 = 3. So your job is to really be a person that makes the team better and make yourself better, but you remember, you can't do it by yourself. You need to do it together.
Okay, and that leads us into the first activity, build trust. It says, read the following about building trust and discuss the questions together as a class. We're doing this independently, and so as far as the discussion goes, we're going to do it right here in the comments for this lesson 2, right down here in the class comments, okay? So trust. Take into account that the vast majority of people want to contribute. Seek out those people. Know that people want to contribute, okay? Realize that the most successful teams make sure every member feels valued. When everyone has a chance to contribute and share their talents and abilities, the team is successful. Demonstrate that everyone counts. You understand that the best way to show people you trust their abilities and intentions is to share what you know with them. The more they know, the more they care. Share what you know. Seek to find out more about people, about who people are and what they think. Ask questions such as, what would you do if you were me? Ask questions to promote insight. And take action. And show team members that you are thinking about who they are and what they want to contribute. This is a great way to show your team members that you are really listening to them and considering their contributions and ideas. Okay, I guess I forgot to read the intro here, but it can be tempting to do everything yourself. But to achieve big goals as a leader, it's important to bring others along with you. Nobody achieves success alone. You may be surprised at what you can accomplish when you put your faith in other people. You will do things they didn't know they could do. They will become more invested in their work, and they will rise to the occasion. Here are some proven ways to establish trust with your team members. We just went over it. What are 3 things you can specifically do to build trust with your team? Why is it important to build trust with your team before starting your project? If you would respond to those 2 questions briefly in the class comments section, and then when you get a chance, visit this page again later and read what your team members had to say. Okay, well now this says sit in a circle with your team and take turns sharing information about yourself with your team. You'll need your lifeline in your Grow Yourself index card from lesson 1, okay? Or just think back to what you put, okay? What's one key experience you included on your lifeline and what makes that experience important to you? Go ahead and type that out here for now. I understand that you might be doing this without your teammates present, but this is something that you can do when you are together with your team. Refer to the Grow Yourself activity. Who are you today, and what are some skills, listening, organizing, planning ahead, communicating, etc., you possess that you can bring to the team? And go ahead and respond there. Okay. Continuing with activity 1. What is one thing you think your team should know about you that most people do not know? What is one thing you want to learn or improve as you complete your Lead4Change project with your team? And what are the strengths of your team members that will assist your team in accomplishing big things? Okay. Right here, if you're working virtually, check in with your team members to share your answers to the first 4 questions. After your discussion with your team members, complete the 5th question, okay? When you have your team members, share contact information, phone numbers, and emails in the Lead4Change lessons. So what I'd like for you to do right now is answer these questions, okay? Pause the video, answer these questions. And again, make sure you do this. Print, save as PDF, save. And this is going to be Lead4Change Lesson 2, Activity 1, completed. You'll see where this is going here in a second. Okay, and then we'll just leave that there for now. We don't need to upload it quite yet. Well, you can get in the habit of uploading it every time if you wish. That'd probably be a better habit to get into. So just go here and then, new file upload. And right here, it's the one we just did, open. Okay, then it's there and it's in the shared folder, and then I have access to it also. It would be at this point that would probably be a good idea for you to share this folder not only with me, but also with your teammates. Okay. All right. So then now, or at least do it in the fall when you're able to meet together. Okay. Now we're going to move on to activity 2. So now that you've taken time to meet your team, it is time to learn more about issues affecting your community. Your team will be working on a project to address a community issue you identified together. In order to make an informed decision, it's important to do your research and learn about the issues from reliable sources. So we're going to watch a quick video here. So this is a little bit out of order, but we've already watched this one.
First of all, Lead to Feed is a team building operation. It's also a leadership operation, and within that, trust is one of the most important parts. I'll give you a good example of the last activity that we did, or the last project. It was all about leukemia, and we tried to come up with something as simple as a name. So the name we finally came up with was Leukemia Lymphoma Lifesavers, which sounds very simple, but the reality is there was 20 attempts before that. There was a lot of students that took it very personal as to the name of it. Once we came up with the LLL or the triple L, there was a lot of dissension and disagreement. So, and then at the very end, somebody came up with the idea of, well, why don't we hand out lifesavers while we're doing our presentation? So all of this comes together, and you can't do this without forming a lot of trust within the group. So Lead to Feed, at its very core, teaches trust, especially in the environment of social media, of where trust is so easily eroded. It's important to have teams that practice the art of trust. And I think that's one of the most important parts of Lead to Feed.
Okay, we'll watch this next video deals with the next activity that we're going to do.
You know, I've been blessed with hopefully a little bit of intelligence, but I have to tell you, I have never ever really thought of myself as being the smartest guy in the room. But one of the things that I've always tried to do is make myself a lot smarter by learning from other people. And one of the things that I really believe makes a difference between somebody who's good at what they do and somebody who's truly great at what they do is that they're an avid learner. And that means they seek knowledge and know-how wherever they can possibly find it. Let me give you an example of what worked for me in my career. I used to work with Frito-Lay, and we need to develop a new product. So rather than going to the chip aisle to look for ideas, I took my team to the grocery store and we looked at all the aisles and we came across the salad dressing aisle. And there we saw that the hottest, most popular flavor that was selling at the time was ranch dressing. And we said, well, gee, if that flavor is so popular, why don't we make a snack chip with that flavor? So we came up with a product called Cool Ranch Doritos. Now I bet you've tried Cool Ranch Doritos and hopefully you like them. It's still one of the most popular chip flavors in the world today. And it came from looking outside for new ideas and seeking know-how wherever we could find it and wherever it might be relevant. Now when you think about the project idea that you're working on, ask yourself, where can you seek knowledge that will help you on your project? What can you learn online or by talking to experts anywhere in the world? Who can you contact in your community that's the expert? Look for all sources of know-how and really identify who you can go to really help you come up with an initiative that will make the biggest possible difference. I guarantee you, being an avid learner is the absolute key to success. And being an avid learner is the way how to take any initiative and take it forward. If you can take your team with you and get a team that's totally focused on learning and really finding knowledge wherever it makes sense, you're ready to go lead. So go lead.
Okay, so he does a good job here in the video to explain. That's a good segue into activity 2. So here's activity 2. Now that you've taken the time to meet your team, it is time to learn more about issues affecting your community. Your team will be working on a project to address a community issue you identified together. In order to make an informed decision, it's important to do your research and learn about the issues from your reliable sources. So we've already talked about different projects that you guys could consider doing. If you already know, then keep that project in mind right now. But here's the introduction to this activity. One of the most important things you can do to grow as a leader is to always be learning. In the video, you heard David Novak say that being an avid learner is the single biggest thing that separates a good leader from a great one. Having a passion and a desire to learn more about a topic can fuel your own determination and inspire those around you. Let's use this principle to explore the issues in our school, community, and around the world. Okay? And then just here's a few things. Research can be a time-consuming task, but it's very important when preparing for your project. If you don't have time to complete your research in class, be sure to plan wisely to allow time after school, okay? And maybe, divvy this up and have members of your team conduct research also so that you're not the only one. And community can take on a variety of meanings based on the situation. It can mean the people in your school, people in your local neighborhood, or your role as a global citizen in the world. For this project, you can think about community as your school community, your local community, or the larger local Think independently about issues facing your school and community. Share some ideas with your team members. Ideas such as advocacy, awareness, communication, human connection, etc. Still not sure of an issue? Ask an adult or find additional ideas here. So select 3 of the issues. Take some time to dig a little deeper and learn about how these issues specifically impact your school, your community, and or your world. Use the internet to explore each issue and collect information as you complete the chart below. Teams may do this section individually or together. A think independently and then share your brainstorm list may work well. Use the chart to capture what's discovered. So if you already know what you're going to do, like the homecoming one, or if you're doing a American Enterprise project or community service project, whatever your project is, what's the issue? We need to educate students about the American Enterprise system, or community service project. The issue is lack of volunteers at the nursing home. What do people need to know about this issue? Who is primarily affected by the issue, and what impact does this have on your school or community? So what do people need to know about the issue? Well, there's lack of volunteers at the nursing home. Who's primarily affected by this issue? The senior citizens in the nursing home and the employees there. What impact has this issue already had on your school or community? The well-being of the people in the nursing home is important to their families, and it should be important to our community. So why does it matter? Why is this issue important? Mental health awareness and quality of life. Why should someone care about this topic? Because they could be in a position where one day they'll be in the nursing home, or maybe a loved one of theirs is. And what are people already doing to improve this issue? If you're unsure, you can put unsure. What are other solutions? What other solutions are people planning to use in the future to address this issue? List what you anticipate or guess. Okay. When you are done, if you've got 3 issues, good. Fill in as many or as much as you can, and then you're going to need to do this. Print, save as a PDF, and this time I'm going to click here on that, and instead of lesson 2, activity 1 completed, I'm going to just change it to 2 and save, and it's going to ask me if I want to replace it. I guess it didn't. And then I need to come here to my drive and upload. Lesson 2, activity 2 completed. Okay, so pause this video and complete activity 2. Okay, now we're done there, and now that you've identified key information about the issues, meet with your team and share what you've discovered. I'm going to play another video for you. It's directed towards teachers, but you can gain knowledge out of this video. So.
Everyone has different obstacles, and in your state or in your community, the students have the opportunity to see what interests them, or where's there something going wrong and where they may want to help. Let the students do the work on this. Have them go out, research an issue that they're passionate about, and then use the internet, use the graphic organizer that the lesson provides, and bring that back to what they've learned. For our chapter and our project specifically, we chose hunger. And I gotta tell you, my students were amazed the statistics that were at our back door. And that's where their passion came from, and they empowered themselves to do the great cottage, and that's where the Cottage Crafters was developed.
Okay, so here's activity 3. Select an issue. Leaders don't stop with just seeking out knowledge. They want to analyze and apply that information. They are always asking, so what? Now what? They want to know why the information is important and how it can be used to make a difference. Discuss your findings with your team. Give team members the opportunity to share their findings. Insert additional information on your chart as team members share. In this activity, you will be selecting an issue that your team will address with the Lead4Change project. Some examples may include student activism issues, such as bullying or school safety. Answer the questions below to help you refine your research and select an issue. What does all this information mean to you and your team after everyone shared their ideas? How can you use this information to help decide where to focus your efforts? Who might benefit from your help? What was the issue you would like to work on with your team? What's the final idea? What are you going to work on? Okay, then discuss your answer to the last question with your team. Work together to reach consensus or general agreement. Select one topic you can all agree on that you would like to work on for your Lead4Change project. Consider making a list of everyone's top choice and then voting in order to select the issue. The issue we have selected is right there. That's your project. So consensus is when a group reaches a general agreement. Most teams must work together often to reach consensus when faced with a variety of issues. So once you have activity 3 done, now you're going to go print, save as a PDF, save, and lesson 2, activity 3 completed. Okay, and then upload that to the folder. And then let's conclude this lesson. So what? Teamwork is going to be so important throughout life. And as you work together to complete your Lead4Change project, remember to always bring your strengths to every activity you complete together and work to build up your teammates. Understand the issues will also be important so you can make wise decisions and speak intelligently with others. It is also the first step towards writing a big goal and selecting a project idea. Now what? Turn in to your teacher the visual representation of team strengths. Use the list of team skills you discussed in Activity 1 and make a visual representation of these skills defining a team. This can be drawing, photo, graph, anything that shows how your ideal team will work together. Draw something up, take a picture of it, okay? Add to your challenge entry the name of the issue you selected to address in the project, and that's what you did here. So now go choose. So just make sure that I have access to this activity 3 being completed in your folder in Google Drive.